Well, we haven't exactly had the greatest news. In the financial markets right now, unemployment claims have gone down. That's not a good sign, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not here to start getting you into the idea of FUD, but we've got to really address the matter at hand. Federal Reserve is still increasing interest rates, and word on the street says that another increase is going to be dangerous. But the labor market is still strong. Yesterday's data from the ISM suggested that the manufacturing sector of over 300 purchasing managers is looking good with a reading of 54. So anything above 50 is expansion. 54, man. Do you understand what that means? That means that the unemployment rate showing now a less of people claiming benefit means what? They're going to be able to spend money. And that only means inflation is going to creep its little head back up again. This is the problem we've got. Food is still going up. Now, some aspects of food has actually come down, but it's not exactly where we want it. You like that one? Exactly. Eggs, inflation. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's live stream, I'm going to take you for a little bit of a story on what we can expect from the marketplace. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to bring a few sentiment charts to help you understand where people's heads are at right now. More importantly, how can we hedge ourselves against interest rates and inflation? We're going to be diving into a little story called ETFs and why money over there is effectively being protected with the wild things that are happening in the economy right now. So, if you are new, subscribe, man. We've got some flavor for you today. Let's roll with it. Okay, then, so just before we get into the chart of Bitcoin and everything that I'm talking about, I have to warn you guys that we are no longer active on the Patreon. Okay, so you can't join the Patreon anymore. If you want to get the same information that you're getting on the Patreon, make your way over to the Traders Reality website. There are a few sections right here on becoming a member. So that's where everything is. Of course, I'm going to talk more about that later on. But I just wanted to let you guys know that you can't become a Patreon anymore. Do not donate anywhere on the Patreon. We're going to be coming away from that spot very soon. It's actually the end of this month, okay? Now, let's get with the flavor, ladies and gentlemen. We've just had the news come out. Bang, 216,000 people claiming benefit. They projected 232. That's not good, ladies and gentlemen. Less is bad news. You only have to go over and look at dearly beloved dollar dominance, and it is climbing up, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, taking our projection of 104 and making a move to the upside. Dollar dominance looks like it's here to stay. On top of that, we've got the idea now that oil could also be creeping up and moving ever so slightly to the upside, and we haven't yet had the initial reaction of the marketplace. By the time we're done with this live, you're going to be aligned with how to approach the next few days, because the Federal Reserve will be meeting again in September to decide whether or not 25 basis points is going to be enough. And then again in November, another 25 basis points. But JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and all those guys, they're suggesting that if the Fed does do that, it's going to be a problem for the economy. And I'm talking about the world's economy. So, something that's hit the marketplace, which will actually have a huge impact on Apple, which could actually have an impact on Bitcoin, is the fact that China has now banned people from using iPhones. Not people, government officials. If it starts from the top, it's only going to trickle back down again. The impact of this, they make the phones in China, government officials say you can't use them. What the hell's going on here? Why would they do that? Is it so that they can start their own thing? Because everyone is winning on the backs of China doing bad. Oil is going up. That's not good because China ain't consuming it. China's economy is slowing down, and that's what is putting weight on assets across the board. You only need to have a look at Euro. Euro's taking a tumble. We got Lagarde speaking soon, and Euro, when dollar goes up, ladies and gentlemen, Euro's going to have a hard time trying to climb. Euro USD showing grounds to, let's just delete this bad boy, showing grounds to breaking down even lower, coming into another zone of support right here. If they invalidate that range, then we've got a problem on our hands, and dollar dominance looks like it's here to stay. Maybe 110 on dollar dominance. That will be a problem for Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Now, Bitcoin is always last to move. it doesn't really go far. Even the news announcements that we've just had, it hasn't really done anything. If anything, now it's looking like it wants to try and come back up. But Bitcoin hasn't done much, and you're not going to expect to get much from Bitcoin. Bitcoin effectively is behaving like the ETFs, that if you want to hedge yourself in interest rate exposure and inflation, maybe ETFs could serve their purpose, all right? Let me take you on this little trip down here. Look at this. So I've got a list of ETFs that effectively are subject to interest rate increases and inflation. Now, you can see very shortly, we've got iShares popping up. And what I want you to focus on is this. This is for people who have a portfolio of stocks, whether it's made up of government bonds, crypto, Forex. If you're looking to hedge yourself against inflation rates and, of course, in interest rates exposure, ETFs like these could be something that might help you, okay? Look at this. We've got this ETF right now, $60 million market cap, trading sideways, $23, all right? You got DBC right now, Invest DB Commodity, trading sideways, $25. RLY, what have we got there? Finance ETF, trading sideways. Okay, VU, Vanguard, and all those guys trading sideways, $410, okay? You've got all sorts of ETFs, all trading sideways. And this is the weekly chart, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Now, all these ETFs have been designed effectively to hedge against interest rate increases and inflation. So if inflation's going up again, because it looks like it is, interest rates are going up because it looks like it is, because the Fed now has been solidified. The fact that the employment market is showing strength and less people are claiming benefit means that there's more likely a bigger chance for inflation to creep its head up again. Going into ETFs like this, ladies and gentlemen, are probably a good shout to diversify your exposure. Because if your portfolio is made up of stocks, well, you're not going to be happy if you hold a bagload of Apple stocks. We only need to go over to Tesla right now and understand that the gap down on Tesla to $245 a share, that's a bit of a problem. Now, day traders is a different story. This is an opportunity for you to try and take advantage of the gap. But NASDAQ has taken a bit of a tumble to the downside, which is looking like it could continue, but it's a bit of a sharp move, and they've made their way back into the vector candle. Members of the channel would have got that projection anyways. We've been expecting NASDAQ to clear out these ranges right here. They're coming back down. But does that mean it's over? Look, I'm always going to give you the bad news, and I'm always going to give you the good news as well. Especially when it comes to cryptocurrency, all right? Check this out. In the news, they're talking about fund managers are very bullish on cryptocurrency, okay? Even though all the madness that has happened in cryptocurrency, they're bullish. Articles like this, look at that. They're showing that fund managers have got an interest in cryptocurrency for the longer term, even though it's got full of scams, legislation, but they're still bullish on it. That's good news for cryptocurrency. But does that help us now? Does that help us now, given that the marketplace right now is now prone to more interest rate increases? How are we going to expose ourselves to risk and still keep our risk to a minimum? If everything's going down, where can we put our monies? Again, the ETFs are a good shout if you want to try and play that game. That's not financial advice. It's just using common sense to find out maybe not just Bitcoin as a hedge. Maybe not just gold. Is it too volatile for you? You load up on these ETFs, sit back and enjoy and wait for the volatility to die off. Let the market do the mad move to the downside, to the upside, because they're already thinking that the S&P is on a parabolic move, aiming to triple in or by the year 2034 to 15,000. You understand what that means, ladies and gentlemen? Whatever market cap there is in the S&P right now, multiply that by 3. That could be distributed across 500 of the top US stocks listed on the S&P 500. I ain't even going to talk about NASDAQ, because if the S&P is going to 15,000, NASDAQ's probably going to end up at like 33 or 34. Not even that, 42, if we're going by the principle of 3 times the amount. So it's is very, very interesting on what's going on. Now, bringing you over to some sentiment. Check this bad boy. Smart money, dumb money confidence chart is showing what? It's showing that smart money right now is buying. How do we know that? Well, let's just quickly go back over to the idea of the NASDAQ for a split second, because all of this is going to be based on how we can understand where Bitcoin is going to end up, all right? So NASDAQ's coming down, all right? It's recovered the green vector candles. So by that principle, with NASDAQ coming into this area for a recovery, during the time, August the 23rd, the sentiment chart was showing that the S&P down here, August time, where is it? Here we go, take August, round about that time, August was correcting, okay? So that means that their chart was going down. The blue line was going down, right? That means assets are going up, right? But when the blue line is going down, assets shoot up, blue line goes up, assets go down, okay? Bit confusing, but you can see this is the S&P right here. When the blue line is going down, they're selling. Smart money is selling into retail traders. When it's going down, as in the assets, the blue line is going up. Right now, we have got the blue line pointing downwards, but it gets updated at the close of the day. So we should see this blue line point up. Why? Because they've been dropping prices. That tells me that they are buying up. But retail is selling, and you can't buy if no one sells. Likewise, you can't sell if no one buys, okay? This is where we are right now. Now, the market hasn't opened yet. We've got 15 minutes until the market actually opens. There could be room for a little bit of a recovery across the board on the news that the unemployment claims data has come in short, right? Going into Bitcoin, we've got to say, well, where are traders' heads at with Bitcoin? Where is everyone in terms of optimism about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? That takes me to this chart right here. As it stands right now, we currently had a reading yesterday of around 30.8. Now, the key says that if it's excessively pessimistic, it should have a reading of 20. So we're not really there yet. And excessive optimism is a reading above 80. Well, we are right now at 30.8. Are we at the point of excessive pessimism just yet? Which psychologically tells us that this is a point in the chart where we could assume, where could we assume Bitcoin could make a little bit of a bounce from? Because I'll be straight with you all, guys. You might not like me saying this, but I have been bearish on Bitcoin maybe for a little bit of a while, but ever since I saw them make this green vector candle, I've been bearish from this point. Because I know they're going to come down to that point to clear out the liquidity. Why? Because no one is picking up crypto. Just because fund managers are bullish on crypto in 2 years, I'm not interested in your opinion in 2 years. I want it now. What do you think now? Well, money flow is suggesting that no one's really bullish. Think about it. If the yields shoot up even more, which is what's going on, yields are moving higher. This is on the 4-hour time frame, and you can see that they've pulled back a little bit, but they're trading at the top side. 5%, man. That's not good. These yields need to drop down. Notice when the yields were down here, this was a perfect time to pick up, in principle, stock, because everything was moving down. Sorry, yields were moving down and stock prices were moving up. If you remember the video that I did while I was in Cyprus talking about this needs to crash. Day after, it crashed. The yields dropped. Assets started to move up, and we saw that joy of price action moving higher because the yields were dropping. Now they're coming back up. They made their profits on the move. They've got their money. Now they're going back into US bonds or cash, okay? So we're going into the cash element. What's going on over here? I've got a little bit of movement in the chart right now. NASDAQ should be coming back up again. Here we go. So the bonds, the dollar dominance itself is still climbing up, ladies and gentlemen. And what you've got to be careful of with dollar dominance is the trend that it resumes. Look at the moving averages, okay? As long as the moving averages are showing this hugging-like feature, they'll tap the 50 bounce, tap the 50 bounce. You're looking for vector candles to appear at these moving averages, all right? Because this is a manipulative play. Why? Because retail uses moving averages and thinks that if I put a sell order at the break of the 50 EMA, I'm going to get my order filled. Yes, you'll get your order filled, but you'll also get taken in the opposite direction, all right? And this is where they load up and then continue up, all right? The faster they recover vector candles on the move to the upside, the more concern I have about the move continuing to the upside because they're quickly recovering the imbalance and then they're moving out. But remember, what is dollar? Dollar is a psychological thing. It's based on investors taking money out of euro, out of pound, out of Aussie and chucking it into dollar. Do you remember the concept of the Aussie trade yesterday, the carry trade principle? Let's go back into that logic. Where are we at with that? Come on, Aussie yen, where are you? Here we go. What's Aussie yen doing? Aussie yen is going lower, okay? It is actually consolidating sideways, to be fair. But a breakdown in towards this green vector candle will solidify it, which means that they're selling Aussie to go back into dollar because they borrowed dollar before to go and pick up Aussie to go pick up stocks. Well, now they're getting rid of those stocks. You can see that with NASDAQ dropping and the S&P dropping, okay? You can see that with Bitcoin dropping, all right? What I'm trying to convey to you all is this. When you're trying to minimize your exposure, all right, you might be heavily invested in cryptocurrency, and that might be where you are. The only chart that you should really be paying attention to is the USDT chart because logically that is a psychological chart. It tells you where investors' heads are at, okay? I'm expecting USDT to keep on spiking up because sentiment-wise, people ain't looking at locking up money in crypto that long. It might pump up, it might pump down, like go down. Like look what happened yesterday with Bitcoin. They gave us that nice little move to the upside, and then they brought it straight back down. You've seen that before with this big move up and big move down. It's all BS, if I'm honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, and it's short-term based investing. That's why ETFs like these over here, they're effectively going to get you covered and avoid the volatility of what's going on in the marketplace, okay? Bringing up the book map itself, guys, I'm looking at Bitcoin over here, and we can see that we are still below the VWAP, all right? And looking at the liquidity that we've got across the board, we have got, in essence, 25,000 is still stacking up with liquidity. We've got 408 Bitcoin orders at 25K. But just look at this chart. It looks light. There's no volume, and this is the problem that Bitcoin has. There's no volume. And if there's no volume, it means it's prone to volatility. That means it can shoot up and down. And you know that there's low volatility because of this move up to only bring it back down again. So if you are deciding to trade Bitcoin, I'd strongly recommend that you are very cautious with your leverage. Looking at Bitcoin's price action right now, we can see bright as day. We've got a couple of imbalance zones down here, which on the 1 minute time frame could suggest to us a vector candle zone. We just pull it up. It should be a vectors inside that region. No, but here we go. Stopping volume candle right there. So I know that this area here is an area where they can grab liquidity, even though it's not that much. It's an area of interest that they could be marking price towards if they fail to clear the daily open, all right? So looking at the daily open right now, we've been testing it. And to be frank with you, we've got the tests of the daily open several times, to be fair. And we've still got the resistance of the 200 and the 50 EMA on the 5 minute time frame. You are effectively looking for price to come up, to break down, to spike, to roll over. But you really need vector candles in here to suggest that. Why? Because they need a reason to come back to down to this zone. All right? So we want to wait and see if we can get vector candles inside that range. Go to the 2 minute time frame. If I've got any vector candles down at the lows here, I don't think I do. No vectors. All right, green vector candles. So I'm going to be cautious now trying to run my longs in this area. Why? Because there's a green vector candle there, which could suggest that they could be breaking it down. Remember, the market has just had some bad news. All right? Even though it's good that less people are claiming benefit, we want a robust economy, we want a robust employment market. But with the way things are right now, the Fed needs the labor market to tank. And it doesn't look like it's tanking. Looks like it's going to be going back up. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. XRP, trading sideways, not really giving me much flavor. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is true. Too many holders, not enough trading. That is the truth. So, what do you think about the collapse of Binance? The collapse of Binance. Well, let's just go into BNB USDT to have a look at that bad boy. Collapse of Binance. They did say that if Binance does go and trade below 210, then there's going to be a problem for Binance. All right? And they didn't really have a problem going down to that zone not so long ago. But if we go into the higher time frames, we can see we got some big liquidity stacks inside this area here. 170 will get a lot of interest on Binance coin. But again, it's all going to be based on what's going on in the economy. That's all I'm saying to you. If Binance is going to be responding to FUD, people at some point are going to say, you know what, forget it. I'm not interested in the FUD of Binance anymore. I'm just not interested. If it keeps on trading, then fine. Until they delist it, then there's a problem, but they're still trading it, you know? And that's how some people are seeing things. Going into Ethereum itself, like Ethereum has just got some issues right now. It's just very choppy. Nothing much is happening in the space of crypto. Look, stop run up, come back down again. Recovery of the violet vector candle. It's very difficult to trade cryptocurrency when you've got this sort of environment happening, okay? That's the problem we've got. This is why I'm trying my hardest to get you guys to try and maybe investigate trading euro. Look at these nice moves, yeah? Trading pound, yeah? USD CAD, Aussie, all of these moves like gold. It's just cryptocurrency doesn't have enough volume yet. And that's the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. We only had just recently had good news about Solana and the PayPal madness, and that didn't really last that long. You see what I mean? It's just pump and dumps. Now, you can take this for whatever you want, ladies and gentlemen, but the truth of the matter is Bitcoin ain't doing much, all right? Bitcoin's only going to do something when it gets to a point that it can grab attention. Bitcoin ain't at a point where it can grab attention just yet, all right? That attention zone, in my opinion, will be when it clears the 24-8 zone. That's all I'm waiting for Bitcoin to do. If it takes forever, it takes forever. I'm just waiting for it to clear that range. Then we'll have a conversation about vector candle recovery, ladies and gentlemen. Would I dare say Bitcoin go down towards 16, 17, 18? Never. It could never go there. That's what bugs me. It's the never could. It could never go there. How the fuck are we meant to know when it's not or when it is? We just don't. We can't. I can only make the assumption that if Bitcoin breaks 24,797, I'm going to see the vector candles getting recovered in this 22,000 zone. Why? I've seen it being done before. The general tone, they're moving down. What would I need to see to invalidate that? You got to get back up above at least 30K. Because this zone right here is consistent with stops. This is the problem that traders have. Or should I say even holders trying to decide, is this now the time to buy Bitcoin? See what I mean? We go into the high block itself and we look at this. Last 12 hours, nothing. Traders aren't trading it. Oh, we got a little bit of a liquidity over here. Let me just change it up. I'm lying here. I'm lying or misleading you in some aspect about the volume. We have got $220 million worth of short liquidations at 26,150. All right. Where's the money, man? No one's trading. Open interest is probably zilch. Where's the money? Where are you? Come on. Why are you doing this? The money, ladies and gentlemen, is right here. That's where the money is. Down in that zone. The actual liquidations on the 3-month chart is quite scary. 24,200, 55 billion. 59 billion at 23.6 and 58 billion at 23.4. Well, I'll even show you the 1-year chart. How about I put that into perspective? That stinks. Look at that. $242 billion worth of long liquidations at 23,600. But don't forget, at 24, there's still $147 billion worth of long liquidations. That's where the money is. Now, look, there's not that much liquidity up there. $33,177 billion worth of short liquidations. But look where the pool of money is. It's there. And all the way down at 15K, we got $186 billion worth of long liquidations. But I'm not even including the journey. Just look carefully. Look, 18. We got 87, 65, 52, 5, 67, 69, 148, 116, 147, 111, 197, well, no, 97, and then 240. That's $1 billion worth of long liquidations. Where's the money? It's right there. If it's not coming in here, it's waited to come down here. That's the logic, ladies and gentlemen. Until money comes in and sends it back up again. Get pumped on Bitcoin going up to 26,762. I might be telling you this and you might be thinking, fuck, man, this guy's making me want to sell my Bitcoin. No, that's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that you're going to sit through this madness. This is all part and parcel. This is why I've introduced the ETFs to you guys, to maybe investigate how you can diversify your exposure. If you've got a lump sum of portfolio tied up in cryptocurrency and you're in a position to move it, get it into an ETF. The exposure is minimal. These are the practices. That's why these ETFs are available. That's not financial advice. It's just common sense. You're not going to put all your eggs in one basket. And I don't mean by just having Bitcoin and then diversifying all over the place in altcoins. When Bitcoin drops, altcoins drop. We ain't in no altcoin season. Some people will beg to differ. But the market is prone to volatility. You only got to go over to the actual market cap itself to understand where we are if altcoin season is happening or not. Oh, it's where we at. Look, 322 billion. That's a problem. Yeah? Altcoins across the board are all trading below the 50 EMA. That's what the logic says. The only two next points of interest in the chart are here and, of course, here. That's where we are. Total market cap, same story. Couple of vector candle zones right here. We know that's a big area of imbalance. So we've got to be very careful, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now, what time is it? 1 minute until the market opens. Let's get with the flavor. Here we go. Let's get with it. Here we go. Let's go to Bitcoin. Let's have a look at what they've got for us. The market will be making an initial reaction. Let's have a look if Bitcoin is going to deliver anything for us. Okay, then. Right. What we got? Vector candle recovery. NASDAQ is looking like it wants to try and pull something nice. I'm hoping. USD CAD is holding out a little bit more. No volume coming in on Bitcoin just yet. I'm going to try and wait and see if we can actually recover any of this aspect. We've got nothing on the VWAP. The VWAP's all over the place. Bitcoin is holding out here on the 1 hour time frame. Let's go over to the 5 minute time frame and look and see if we can get ourselves a little bit of flavor here. Okay, then. Right. So Delta what's this? Tino, you're looking wet, my man. Get the No, I'm good. I'm actually all right. I've got the fan next to me. I've got the AC over there. I'm not looking wet. Why did I read your comment, bro? That's so bad. Ah. Can you get bookmap for Forex? You get the futures contracts. I believe you can. Yes, you can. This week has potential to have the lowest volume in a couple of years. So boring. This is true. And that's the thing. If people see that there's low volume in cryptocurrency, does that mean it's an opportunity to buy? Well, yeah, probably. But also with what's going on in the marketplace, it also can be a problem as well. You know? NASDAQ is holding out currently at the 1590, 15200 zone. We're going to have a little bit of a gap down. Market should be open. We've got some contract orders coming in on Bitcoin right here. Now, guys, listen. Today, the market has done its information. We haven't got anything to worry about until Harker starts to speak at 3 o'clock. He's either going to say, yeah, we're going to increase interest rates, tell us something new. So we could expect a little bit more volatility coming into the marketplace when Harker starts speaking, okay? But what you've got to be mindful of is Bitcoin has still got some zones down here that they may find interest in. It hasn't done much and it hasn't moved anywhere. We've got negative delta down here that could suggest that Bitcoin could be in line for a little bit of a tumble. So wait until 3 p.m., which is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, and you'll know exactly where you stand with the response to the news announcements, okay? I'm going to wait and see if they're going to clear this liquidity. Here we go. 290 Bitcoin orders coming in. Heavy liquidity down on the right at 25,500. Bitcoin hasn't yet to go to a point where interest is going to come in. It's just going to bleed out slowly. It hasn't gone anywhere for retail to say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to buy it. You know, it's just been trading sideways. And this is the problem that I've got. I'm waiting to see if they can actually break low. I want to see 25. That's my opinion. I want to see 25K because I know at 25K there was around 1,500 Bitcoin orders, but they got removed. So logic would say that we would expect them to try and come back into that zone and encourage those traders to step in and buy limit orders at the 25 zone, okay? Fill those orders, liquidations, send them, bang. That's what we'd be expecting, ladies and gentlemen. Tino's a way to see what part of volume is retail and what part is the market maker. In respects to what, man? You know, in what respects? That's what I'm looking for. Thank you very much, man. So what would your target for a nice Bitcoin swing to the vector candle? What would my target be? Well, look. This is the question you've got to ask yourself, right? Where in the chart is there going to be a point where we would naturally expect people to do something? here. That's the only next logical point. Now, for a swing trade perspective, go to the 4-hour time frame. We ain't been nowhere, bro. What do you want me to do? The fact that I've got to introduce you to ETFs because Bitcoin ain't doing nothing tells you what's going on. But there's a lot happening inside of this zone. All you got to be mindful of is this 24,797. If you can absorb Bitcoin's behavior like this, look at this. Yeah, this is what Bitcoin's prone to. So if you're using leverage, just make sure that you can factor in what I like to call a BS move. That's just a stop run, clear the liquidity, back into vectors, back down, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all it is. Okay? Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, again, you are new to this channel. Got a new website that has been built. It's got a free course on there. Got a paid course on there, which tells you a little bit more, well, actually in-depth detail about how to scout the hybrid system. All right. Takes a lot of content off the Patreon and off the YouTube channel and condenses it into a 4-hour course for you to just work through and tell you everything that you need to know. Get through the free one because that gives you the idea of what the tools are all about. Do that course, because that one right there aligns you with what you're going to expect in the live streams, in the course, and any future content as well. But get on with the flavor and do this free course on the Traders Reality website. It's free to do, okay? Remember, you can't become a patron. We're off that platform. I'm still uploading on there for the existing Patreons, but we're coming away from that by the 1st of October. Ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect. Please be careful with Bitcoin. She's going to pull a number. I need to put some orders on the mark. Sorry.